G'day mate and welcome back to Factorio with me, JD. So, this is the third time I recorded this episode, so it might go a little bit faster than normal. Anyway, what happened between episodes? So a couple of things that happened. I extended solar out because I got sick of the constant brownouts. I also put down some more artillery and moved the neighbours a little bit further back. Got both those done between episodes. I'm still requesting all the modules I possibly can. It's still not enough. Ted's still safe, quietly tucked between two artilleries. Like, there's only a few tiles, you know. He's safe in the middle. So yeah, we've pushed the neighbours back. I've also... I want to sort of try and get our circuit production running even faster. Now, I have this train that's down no pathing. Crap, what I do? I screwed up a signal. Yep, I put the signals on the wrong side of the track. Put that there. Put that there. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. So, I hooked up... Where are we? I hooked up the extra belts of green circuits into our blue circuits. Our blue circuits are down going... They're flying through. And as you can see, we're actually backed up in blue circuits. Green circuits are short at the moment, which is... I'm hoping just an iron or a copper supply problem. Yeah, it's purely a supply problem. We just... nope. It's not an iron supply problem. It's a copper supply problem. So it's just not quite enough copper really being unloaded fast enough, I think. No, that's unloading fine. I don't know what the problem is. More investigation later. But what I actually want to do is I want to upgrade our red circuit production, because that's probably our limiting factor at the moment. If greens are running, if blues are running flat out and greens are running flat out, the only thing holding back our module production is going to be the red circuits. And at the moment, we're using a lot of red circuits. So the other thing I did with power. So if you remember, I had this accumulator hooked up to the power, and we're reading the state from the accumulator as a percentage on the power line. As you can see, it says 35%. That's a lot more than 35% currently. Because what I actually did is I added a constant combinator to subtract 50 off the signal. So rather than the pumps turning on when we got down to 30% charge in the accumulator, I've got them turning on a little bit earlier. So as we can see, accumulators are running. Is it orange? Green. Green's accumulator. Green discharge. So they're running, and after they kick in, right, we can see the steam turbines really take off. We're now running power all the way through the night. That's a really important thing. And as you can see, this is our, it looks like this is our charge point for our accumulators. Yeah, that's our charge point for our accumulators. Once they're charged there, the solar panels take a break. So the reason I did this is I could have changed each pump individually, but it's a little bit of a pain to go through and change every single pump. Oh, that one's set to 50%. That's why they turn on early. Oh, there goes the screenshot machine. So we'll change those to 30% as well. See, it's a bit of a pain to change each pump individually. On top of that, if I'm on the other side of the map and we're now on stable power and I want more power, I want to turn the steam engines on earlier or later, because that's really what we're doing. The only way I can change these is by putting down a pump wherever I am, hooking a wire up to it and hooking that wire up to something, so I actually have the wire entity on it, changing it, and then I can blueprint it across the map. Or I can put down a constant combinator anywhere, which doesn't require me to have water, change this value, doesn't have to be hooked up to wires, I can just change the value, and then blueprint it here, and that'll change the value. So if I copy and paste that like that, and I change that to minus 40% to have them turn on a little bit later, and I paste that just with a copy, paste, we can see that one's down minus 40%. So I can change that anywhere on the map without too much hassle. So that's why I've gone with a constant combinator. It's quicker and easier for me to change, and I can change it remotely. Doesn't matter where I am. Trees, nope, no personal robots, can go away. But yeah, I really want to look at pardon me, the red circuit build, because it's the only one not moduled, and that means it's chewing through resources. Not chewing through. No, let's not run up down. Let's use map view. The whole build is using a blue belt of copper, a blue belt of green circuits, and a blue belt of plastic. So 45, 45, 45, and it's outputting half a blue belt, 22.5 on the output. As you can see, it is backing up. It looks like it's green circuits is where the issue's been moved to. But honestly, I'd like to continue to upgrade our green circuits and everything else. Get everything else maybe just a little bit faster. Oh, that's all right. We've also got to train adding green circuits onto the belt as well. So we've got I can't remember what we're outputting. We're outputting 123. So hang on. How much does red belt move? 30. So we're outputting 4 red belts worth, providing this is running at full speed, which looks like it's a little bit short. It will be a little bit short because we can't quite get copper cable into the machine fast enough. That is a modification I can look at. Nope, we can't get iron into the machine fast enough, which is probably something I can maybe fix. That one can't get copper cable. So there's always a shortfall. Like there's always going to be something that's going to stop this running at full speed. But yeah, it's running almost good enough. And then we're coming over to blue belt, and I'm compressing the belts down, and then we're adding more off our lovely train, and running those belts to make lots and lots of blue circuits. But yeah, like I said, red's our current shortage, which means I want to look at upgrading reds. And I think I found out I could chop one belt out of this. One beacon out of this. That looks about right. No, I already did that. Okay. Like I said, I've reshot this episode 3 times because in 3 separate occasions I've had people show up at the front door, people banging on the front door. I've had phone calls that I couldn't avoid. It's been a bit of a shocker, to be honest. Yeah, I can't move that down. Okay, so yeah, I saved myself a couple of beacons in there. Anyway, so first things first, we want a line of beacons. Then going from my topmost beacon, I want to go diagonally 2 tiles, and you know where's, whoops, put some sort of, oh, see I'm off. Put some sort of item there to know that you've gone diagonally. Put another row of beacons on the other side of that assembly, so I know this guy's got maximum coverage. Then we want you to do copper cable. We're going to throw some prod mods in you. And did I just see yellow power? I did. Constant culminator. Change that back to A minus 50. Go screenshot machine, which funnily enough is taking 250 megabytes worth of screenshots in that half an instant where we get that little lag spike. Copy that. And then I want to copy that and just paste it just a few times. Down to there. Okay, so max rate calculator to the rescue. Let's start working out some ratios. So we're doing outputting 30.8 copper cable and we're inputting 33 copper cable. So that's obviously too many. Run that again. So we're now outputting 30 copper cable and we're inputting 29.33 copper cable, which is perfect. It's U-Butte, it's right on the spot. We're also using almost 15 per second of the green circuits and the plastic, which means 15 and 15 is almost 30. So we could call that a red belt. So I could run both these on a half, each of those on one lane of the red belt of a red belt, and feed copper cable on a blue belt. or another red belt on the outside, and then I have to get all the red circuits out on a third magical belt. So that's one idea. One idea, red belt, red belt, red belt, red belt, and then some other belt to try and get the red circuits out. But we did that mess here, and you can see how fun that was for me to build and how I've still got a headache from it. Or if I go down to 22 copper cable, which is half a blue belt, I could do the same as we've done here. Put the copper cable on one side of the belt, put the red circuits on the exact same belt, and then just at the end of it, just cut off the copper cable so it stops moving, and collect the... let the red circuits continue to pass. So I think that's what we're going to do. At the same time, that's brought us down to 11 and 11, which means from our blue belt worth of input, I could split it 4 times to give us 4 times 11 being 44. So 44 green circuits and 44 plastic, which is probably an easier number to deal with. It also means I want to put the copper cable down here and feed it out and then up. So let's try and let's start to work this stuff out. So we know we can use a red belt in, and get rid of you, get rid of you. Do a constant combinator there and a constant combinator there, so I can decorate these belts for you. So if that one does plastic and that one does green circuits, either or, doesn't matter. And then down here, we're now using 11 copper, so it's a lot cheaper. Inserters output on the far side. I really don't want an output on the far side. I want to input it on. I want to input the copper wire on the narrow, on the right hand side of this belt that's going to go north. Upgrade plan of that. So we're going to do some sort of version of what we already have. So I'm going to bring copper plate in. So that'll be going that way, that'll be going that way. We put that there with another constant combinator so we can decorate things as we go. And have you do copper plate. Then I'm going to output 22 copper cable per second out of these two guys, which should be possible. Maybe not. It's one of those things you'll only find out when you actually try it. So we might need to jiggle these two guys around, maybe have a third output inserter and take this input and wrap him around the other side. We'll work that out in a little bit. We'll work that out when we actually run it live. Which means we probably can get away with fast inserters. Input, input, input. So we were doing 1 to 6. We're now still doing 1 to 6. Screenshot machine gone. So we're still doing one cable machine to 6 red circuits. Originally was using 2.5, 2.5, and 2.5 and making 1.25. In this configuration with modules and beacons, now uses 4 times as much, 4 times as much, and outputs a lot more than 4 times. Outputs 6 times as much, roughly. 5 and a bit, something like that. This would be input, 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 input. Power there and power there. You need your own separate power pole. I think I'm happy with this already. Like, the only way we're going to know whether it works is if we try it. And it means the next assembler would be there. So, it's really down to the grand scheme of scrap everything. So, oops, sorry robots. I apologise. I really don't. I really don't. This is why we have so many construction belts in the network. So they can come along to builds like this and just pick up whole builds and make them disappear. Look at the cum. Construction belts. Oh, no, they ran out of charge. They ran out of charge. They took away the first build. Okay. That belt's going to be in the way. It's a lot longer as well. So I think maybe we'll start it, because we're going to want potentially 4 of these. So I think I'm going to start it, if I start it up here, and then we can't, can we? So copper's going to come down the outside. These guys use 11 and 11. So we could feed a red belt into... Yeah, okay. One thing at a time. Alright, I'm going to put that there. Nope. Go away. Undeconstruct. Redeconstruct. Go, personal bots. Get rid of all the stuff. Go again. And one more time. Okay. No, I don't want blueprints. I want that. Which, if I put that there, that's maximum beacon coverage. I can get rid of those and that constant combinator. No, I did the wrong button again. As you can see, my beacons are wrong. That's better. So the beacons have to line up. I can have a 3-tile here of weird and wasted space, but the beacons are got to line up because they're the ones that are actually most important, and they carry. They should pattern in beautifully to carry all to make sure that we keep the 8-8 ratio that we've got currently. So I need to put a substation about here to just power everything. Now, you 2 belts. We're going to want you lovely and evenly distributed. That was red circuit output, which can be rearranged. So we're going to use an old trick, the one that we use for smelters, to mix our ore and our coal together. And then this has got to be a copper belt. Which in theory we're only using 20 of, between this one and this one. So let's hook that one up as well. And actually we're not going to go any further. So we're going to run that one into there. And then I'll use the copper belt on the other side to run any lower builds. And then we're going to use the same old trick because it works. Yeah, underground 1 tile. Whoop, there goes the screenshot machine again. Run that out to there. Yeah. Do the guys at the end get copper cable? Let's try the top one first. You need 4 to run. No, we can see there's copper cable there. Come on, out of the way. That these stack inserters can't output fast enough. So, we'll take this belt up around here. We'll have that input there. We'll change you that way, and we'll have you output as well. Is that any better? Hang on. How much are we outputting? 22. Yeah, that's more than a red belt's worth. Upgrade plan of the rescue. Really, I don't have any more blue belt on me. Okay, fine. Go, go, come on. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. It looks like a pretty continuous stream of copper cable. Yeah, there we go. Okay, now did I need to do all the shuffling I did to get that there or not? There is a gap. Is that gap going to hurt me? Yeah, that stopped for just a second. Okay, so we do need to do this trickery, and we do need 4 belts or maybe a fast. Believe it or not, and we can see it right now. No, we just put a gap in the belt. Fast inserters and stack inserters move at different speeds and do a fairly good job of filling gaps and in some cases work better than a stack inserter. I'm actually thinking it's that better. Because I want to make sure I've got a constant stream. Oh look, we're going to be lazy, just run 3 stack inserters. Which means this belt also has to be upgraded. We're doing 11, that's 22. And yet these guys don't have green circuits and plastic. Why not? Okay. Whenever in doubt, upgrade player. Because I just upgrade planet everything to tier 3 belts. Blue belts. It rules out that it could be the belt issue. Oh, because I keep looking at 1 on upgrade planner and it's actually 2 builds. So we're doing 22. See? Okay. Yeah. Jedi brain kicked in. Okay. So you guys are outputting, you need to get cut off. You need to go up to there. You need to be an output. And you need power. You're now running flat out as well. That needs to be blue. Yeah, we need the throughput speed. That's already blue, just to confirm. And come on, over here so I can see things. 3, 2, 3, 0, 3. Yeah, it looks like we don't have quite enough copper cable. Is there anything I can do to fix that? Not really. No, I can't go longer. If I use blue belt, I can then go over here. Oh, there goes the screenshot machine again. Because you're waiting on copper cable. And the catch is, anything that slides past him actually backs up the next machine. So up here I'm going to have no issue with copper cable, but down here I might. And look, I could literally just put a second copper cable machine at the end. And just, that'll do, you know. It's whether or not I can buffer enough onto this belt. That we get absolutely no gaps, because that's the key. I can't have really any gaps in this belt. No, it's not even necessarily a gap. Sometimes it's just all about inserter timing. I could do that. It's like absolutely guaranteed it's running at full speed. Because it's now outputting into the belt twice. Problem is we're so close to the max throughput of a half belt of copper. Or a half belt of copper cable. I think that's where our problem's going to come back and haunt us time and time again. We could do that for like extreme overkill. Can I just have like one bit of blue belt? That would help so much. Nope, that failed. Okay, like round and round and round and round we go, but that is definitely, now that we're side loading in every different shape and direction, that definitely has to be full speed. How are you going? One cable. Zero cable, outer cable. I think this is my only answer. If I do that one, that stops the cable there. That means this inserter is always going to have some cable right there. This row is not wasting its cable running into this row. And I think that's my ultimate answer. Yeah, it's now stacking up on the belt. Okay, which means I can probably get rid of all that crap. Yeah, it's now 10, 12 cable in there. Okay, so that works. That's going to work as well. You can have whatever's left over in my inventory. And we've got a lot of red circuits on the belt. It also means that if I take this whole thing, we come down here, sort of line things up a little bit, paste it back down, maybe power up that row port, and we're gonna have row ports out here without power. Yeah, deconstruct. Run up the belt. Come on, bots. Pick up everything. Okay, done. Alright, so we needed to get copper. We need to get copper on this belt. So let's start with that. We're gonna be a little bit sneaky and run it in that way. You forward, sideways, you that way. We're going to go underground. In theory, that should work. I don't know. We're going to run up to this copper belt. Because one of these builds is only using how much copper? 22. And this belt outputs 30 because it's red. So it means I don't have to mess around with upgrade plan or anything. I can just run the belt straight. And just run a straight red belt, split it twice, and run those two different things. But we also need our green circuits and our plastic, which when come on, gonna run like that. And I'm out again, so I'm gonna use red belts and then have the bots upgraded behind me. I do need blue belt to go into there. Upgrade planner. All of that. All of that. All of that. Done. This is going to give me red circuits, which we're going to run there. Oops. That's how we contaminate belts. Wherever put you in my way. Yeah, what did I just say about contaminating belts? And if I run that in there, that should sidewall the other half. How many red circuits are we outputting now? 15 and 15, that's 30, that's over red belt's worth. So we might as well just upgrade planner, all the things, make it go faster. I don't have to downgrade anything going south because we're not going to be pulling off that fast. In fact, I probably don't need to upgrade this far up the bus. I definitely don't have to upgrade that far up the bus because definitely by probably straight after blue circuits, we now don't have 30 plus red circuits on the belt per second. We've probably got way less. I want to upgrade that. I don't want to upgrade that. I just want the feed-in belts to be running at blue speed potentially. That's running, that's running, that's running. You're all running. You're running. Your squiggly belt's running. You're more than happy with your copper input of just an inserter. So let's get rid of squiggly belt. And red circuits has been increased. I didn't look at these numbers prior to, but if we go to red circuits on a 10-minute graph, we went from 900 to 1.8k with the exact same amount of input, just a lot faster output. At expensive power, which well, you can see beacons went up. Assembler machines went down to then go up. Mining drills, well, mining drills don't count, but yeah. So yeah, more power being used, but then again, more red circuits on the belt. It won't be a fully compressed blue belt. Although that's blue belt right there. So if I upgrade you, express. Oh, well. Fine, we'll upgrade that one as well. No, we're running up the thing in blue belt. Yeah, we might as well just... it can't produce blue belt's worth. But this means if it backs up, which it will eventually we'll stop using red circuits. Might only be for 5 minutes. It means when it happens, it can then empty the buffer at red belt at blue belt speed. Words. You can see this right-hand lane's already backed up. Okay, red circuits successfully upgraded. There you go. Probably going to call it here for an episode. Possibly... Well, actually, first thing we're going to do next episode is we're going to extend this out. And then maybe we'll go on a combat run. Because we need this uranium. I think we need a lot more room for solar. At the same time, if I get some uranium, I can... There's a train out of fuel. If I get uranium, it means I can start building nuclear power. I don't know whether we'll keep nuclear power, but at least if it's built, that's something. It means we have that buffer at least. And look, we've got a whole heap of steam turbines already that we brought with us. So really, it's the more basic things. It's the nuclear reactors, it's the heat exchangers, and the heat pipe. They're the things that we actually have to make to get a nuclear reactor up and running, so they're not too expensive. Anyway, I'm going to top up the fuel on this train and get a ride home, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Thank you for watching. Bye.